What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? To our buddy Big John and G, the two-gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Alright, everyone, thanks for coming by. Thanks for checking us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And thank you so much for subscribing to us right here on YouTube. And if you get a chance, throw us down a comment. And if you like the episode, why don't you share it? Alright, so this brings us to Tabletop Takeout Tuesday. And for my newer viewers, this is a series that I try to explain a game like I would to a friend. A game that I like, so you know in a sense it's not really a review, because you know I'm already talking about a game I like. And this is how I would tell my friends about the game when I want to try to get it down to the table. I want to get them excited about it. Yeah. And the game I want to talk about today is part of a bigger game, although it's its own unique universe. In the past, I've talked about, and you even saw a fairly in-depth playthrough of War Against Darkness by Ganesha Games. This is a DM-less book-style RPG where really all you need is a couple of index cards for the four characters and graph paper and a couple of six-sided dice. Actually, they're just one six-sided die. It's a really great system. It blew me away. I did not have very high expectations. I thought it looked interesting. I thought it would at best be a fun lark, and the game really took me away. But I want to talk about a specific version of this game, and that is a version that they came out with that is set in Arthurian times. King Arthur, Merlin, Lancelot, Excalibur. Or Caliburn, I believe, is the older version of it, and Myrddin, the older Welsh version of Merlin, something like that. Try my best for the pronunciations. But as you can tell, I love the Arthur mythos, the Arthur story, the Arthurian cycle. It was probably the very first thing, fantasy-wise, I cut my teeth on as a small child. Even before Dungeons and Dragons and before The Hobbit and any of that stuff, it was King Arthur. So, why don't I see you down the table, and we'll talk about the Knight of Destiny. Ah, yes, King Arthur. Man, as I said, I really grew up loving this whole legend of King Arthur. Especially the older the legends were, the more I was really interested in them. And that's kind of dictated my life, actually. If I hear a myth or a story, I want to hear the oldest version I could find of it, because that's where everything started, and anything that's different than that is added on. I guess it doesn't mean it's wrong, but it's added on. So I've loved King Arthur, and I really came to enjoy the War Against Darkness game. It is a great solo RPG. I didn't think a DM-less solo RPG would work on as fun a level as it does, but this does. So I started really collecting some of the other books after I got a few of them, and one of the ones that I have fallen in love with, and I can't wait to do a video on, is the Knight of Destiny. This uses the War Against Darkness rules as far as rolling the dice for randomized encounters and places, events, items, and it uses it with a King Arthur theme. Let me read the back to you. This is yeah, you'll. Knight of Destiny is an Arthurian adventure for a single character, a questing paladin. Using the War Against Darkness rules, your character can also hire retainers along the way, enlisting men-at-arms, merchants, and other travelers to help him in his quest for the Grail. The kingdom is in decay, Lancelot has left, and King Arthur has fallen ill. Traitor knights, led by Morgana and her unholy child Mordred, have rebelled. Only the Grail can heal Arthur and end the evil. But is it a race against time? The traitors are hunting paladins to stop the quest. If the Grail is not found in time, all will be lost to darkness. This adventure requires no mapping and includes rules for paladins, Arthurian magic items, and random tables to generate inns, encounters, quests, and even the names of characters met. So yeah, it's gonna run smoothly. I haven't quite figured out, after running it initially, how I want to present it on video. But this game, if you are a fan of King Arthur, this is the kind of game that you can get. You can sit down. You don't need any other players. You can run this game solo and be done in it in about 15 to 30 minutes. And it's really going to give you this fun, high adventure feel of King Arthur and the Knights. Because it rips so much, not only from the Arthur mythology, but it actually rips a couple of things from Celtic mythology here as well. What could I think of something? Tualord the Giant. Tualord the Giant. I don't really remember that in King Arthur stories, but I do remember that in Celtic mythology. The questing beast I remember from King Arthur. Lamors the Wizard. See, that's another one. I don't remember Lamors the Wizard from King Arthur, but there is like some one-off mention in some Celt mythology about this individual. But I really like that. I like the fact that they're pulling from the neighboring areas that are all part of the history of Britannia. Londinium, whatever it's named at the time, because its tribes haven't really been brought together at this point. He's the man that does it. But it pulls it all together in such a fabulous way that you can sit down, you can spend, like I said, 15 to 30 minutes, and you can sit down and have yourself a really wonderful Arthur-based adventure. And the reason I pointed out in the back that there's no mapping is because in the core game, that's what you're doing, is using some graph paper and you're mapping as you randomly generate the dungeon. But this doesn't use it at all, because you're just literally going from place to place, encounter to encounter, to an inn, to this castle. So there's no need to map anything. It's just what happens in this scene. That's it. That's a good way of putting it. It just jumps you from scene to scene. And that's all you need. In this, that's definitely all you need. So if you're a fan of King Arthur, you're a fan of role-playing games, and you just want to have yourself 15 to 30 minutes of some Merlin and Paladin and Knights in Shining Armor fun, then the Knight of Destiny, you're going to have a lot of fun with this game. And let me know what you think about it. All right, everyone, thank you so much for checking us out on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And it's also so very cool. Thank you all very much. I've been heading over to the official Two Gun Pixie Zazzle store and checking out some of the cool merch we got there, like May the Crypt Be With You. Maybe you find something you like. But most of all, thank you all for coming over here to YouTube, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing and sharing. Thank you so much. It means the world to me, Tommy V, and the 20-Sided Warriors. If you didn't like this video, at this point I got almost 700 others. You might like one of those, so check it out. All right, everyone. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G. The Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming, and my friends, I am out of here.